Well, here we are at the Glory Lake Park house. It's August 1st, 2013. I'm going to take a little tour of the house just to give us a record of what it looked like before we start packing everything up and moving. So this is looking out onto the open area that's like a big great room. It's a very open floor plan. Really nice, comfortable space to live in. The living room itself has concrete brick, exposed brick as the wall, and this is sunk into the earth on the outside. There's no basement here, it's just this sunken area. Glass brick provides nice light. And the ceiling above is this very interesting curved ceiling that goes up. There are these celestry windows that go along at this very interesting angle. And then it goes all the way. Give the iPad a minute to catch up. It goes all the way up to the upper floor. Really open, airy space. Going downstairs into the main floor. You can see the dining room area over there. Trish's art hanging beautifully on the wall. Bird feeder out over the deck. Spend a lot of time in the winter watching the birds come to the feeder. The deer come pick up the bird seed, the voles who would live underneath the snow right on the deck. We saw moose, foxes, squirrels, lots of interesting wildlife. And looking out back, of course, the beautiful foliage of the woods right behind the backyard. In the wintertime, everything was bare. It's beautiful as well, but in a different way. Looking into the kitchen. Really well set up kitchen, very functional, nice big island with the bar right attached to it. Liked working in here. That window there used to be an outside window, but the patio was walled in to make the family room. The cabinets, lots of good cabinet space. Interesting, there's so many beautifully done things about this house, but you look at the quality of the construction on the island and cabinets, not so great. But that's the way it is in this house. Some things are breathtakingly beautiful, and some things are okay. Overall, though, what a great house! Probably the nicest house I've ever lived in. Probably the nicest I'll ever live in. Big walk-in pantry, lots of room here, lots of shelf space. There's all kinds of space to put things here. They made good use of this house, of the space underneath the stairs and the landing. And then there's the kind of the everyday pantry that also had lots of shelf space, was well used. Really liked the whole setup. Walking back towards the family room. So the family room is a big open space, lots of light, lots of windows, really glorious. This was Katrina's office when we first moved in here, but we moved the office upstairs about a year ago. In this space you have these skylights, provide lots of light, really nice. The piano, this is a great space for the piano. When we moved the office, we brought the karaoke machine in here, so we've had a couple of karaoke parties in here, and we left the big bookcase in here as well. So the floor is all tile, and the tile is heated in different zones by a radiant heat system. And it's very nice in the wintertime to be able to walk downstairs and your feet are nice and toasty and you don't need slippers and there's no chill on the floor. Here's the laundry room. Big laundry room. Really nice. Like having all this space available to work. I don't think laundry is ever going to be fun, but this makes it a lot nicer. Backing on it is a mud room. There's one of the doors to the outside. Lots of space to store coats, put shoes and boots. Nice to be able to walk in here wet or covered in snow and just drop everything and throw it right into the laundry. The downstairs bathroom. Not a full bath, but it's got a shower down there. And back here, you can see the doorway closing off the back part of the house. It's almost like it was set up to be a separate apartment that wasn't finished yet. As we walk in, you can see there's a room over here we use as a paint storage room that's big enough to be a small kitchenette. And then here's the room we call the box mine. It's really a big unfinished bedroom is what it looks like. There's 50 plus boxes here that have got everything that we carry around. A lot of family material, a lot of books, old computers we can't bear to part with, Christmas stuff, old toys, things that I'm sure someday we'll go through and give away a lot of it. But for the moment, we're just packing it with. A lot of these things haven't been unpacked since we moved up here. And then back here is one of the really nice things in this house, which is a cold storage room. So the floor is not heated in here. There's a big wine rack, stand-up freezer and a fridge. And this is great for storing potatoes, onions, that sort of thing. A great little space. Back through the box mine. Over to the equipment room. So this house has quite a setup for heating and conditioning and drawing water. Here's the furnace. It's a natural gas furnace. There's actually a furnace and a boiler. And you can see the rubber hoses snaking down into the floor. That's what provides the in-floor heat. And then there's hot water that goes into this heat exchanger that provides the heated forced ventilation on the upper floors. Inside of here there's also the equipment for the well, the pressure tank, and then a big water softening system. So the water is the Achilles heel of this house. We have very, very hard water, lots of iron, lots of sulfur. You have to pour a ton of softening salt into the system to keep it going, and then the water comes out too salty to drink. In addition to having very hard water, there is bacteria in the well, iron-loving bacteria, that smells terrible and leaves these awful black residues in the toilets. Not harmful to people at all, but not very pleasant. We have in the back hallway, it's like a big mud room. You got a place to sit down, place to put your shoes. This great little cabinet, which is really just to hold hats and gloves. Really nice in the wintertime. So this is the main way to get in and out of the house. It's actually the access to the garage. And you can see the nice big garage. The giant snowblower. It's going to take me about 10 seconds using that thing to clean off the snow in the new house. But this is a double car garage with lots of extra space. We had lots of shelf space here. And there's also a whole drop down ladder and area up above. Another big storage area. So really nice space in here to store a lot of things. Back down through the back hallway. Past the equipment room. And we'll go through the kitchen and then go upstairs. Very interesting lighting fixture over the dining room table. The stairs themselves are beautiful. Really nice hardwood, a beautiful construction. This is one of the things that was done beautifully in this house. Front hall closet, one of the many little pukas in the house, or areas to put things. Knick-knack sort of shelves, but big ones. Like this. Here's just a little illuminated cubby hole, and looks like it was made for a piece of art, and that's what we put there. Kids bathroom, really the middle bathroom, full bath. Really nice. This is the shower we're all using these days because we don't want to get the other shower stained with the hard water. Takes a bit to clean it out. Here's the linen closet. The linen closet is huge. Unfinished shelving, but tons of room. Here's one of the nice features of this place. The laundry chute. So you dump the laundry from here and it goes straight down to the laundry room. Here's Annie's room. Annie loves her room. She spent a lot of happy hours here. It was painted this pink and brown combination when we got here, and we haven't changed it at all. Had the whimsical dandelion painting on it. She's got her stuff in here, and she likes this space. She spends quite a bit of time in here working on her stuff. Through the halls, there's not a square angle in this place. You can see everything's kind of oblique or acute. It really makes the place interesting and kind of a fun place to be. Carter's room. Carter really uses this place as kind of a storage room. He doesn't spend a lot of time in here. He's been sleeping on the floor in Annie's room next to her bed for almost the whole time we've been here. But he's got plenty of storage in here for his kid stuff. And we repainted this room when we got here. He picked these colors. It was this blue and orange. That's not quite the exact accurate names of the color, but Katrina and I worked on it for a couple of days. Thanks to her great attention to detail, it turned out very well. There's also a balcony off of the kids' rooms. Each bedroom goes out to a balcony. When we got here, there was no railing there. So one of the big projects that we did was to install these railings. And it looks out onto the woods. It's just stunning. One of the problems with the house was that there was a leak in the roof. Right there you can kind of see where the staining is on the plastic covering on the deck. That leaked down into the family room, discolored one of the beams there. Okay, back into Carter's room and headed for the master bedroom. So the master bedroom is a great space. Got a little entryway, and then step over here into the walk-in closet. Big, beautiful walk-in closet. Custom shelving and lots of space here. We use it all. Katrina uses a lot of this space for her hats, which we used to always have to keep in storage, but now we can keep here. Shoes, all the clothes fit in here. It's very nice. The bath. So this is a pretty luxurious bath, and this is one of the things we really liked about this house. Big, beautiful jacuzzi tub. Glass brick windows bring in natural light. Whoop, there you go. The vanity in the sink. So all really well done. This kind of groovy plastic looking shower, which turns out to be really hard to keep clean, especially with the hard water stains. But I shouldn't complain. It's a great space. Beautiful look out onto the balcony. The woods are right there. And when the snow builds up, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful in the summer. It's beautiful in the winter. This is just a very comfortable and relaxed space. So we love this bedroom. It's got the big curved ceiling. Lots of interesting little details. You know, the ceiling runs above the closet, and there's that little gap there. I think it was to let the steam escape from the shower. But it makes the whole thing nice. Here's the balcony. So the balcony, this was probably the biggest problem in the house. We didn't know it until the home inspection when our buyers came and did their home inspection. Turned out the supporting beam on the balcony beams are rotten. The balcony is actually unsafe. We had to give a bit of a concession on the price so that they would be able to fix that. And we were pretty unhappy at our first realtor because they had assured us that it wouldn't take anything more than keeping paint on it to keep the rot out. Well, there's a whole story there, but we're not going to get into that now. So, out of the master bedroom. Now we'll go all the way upstairs. Again, another staircase, this beautiful wooden staircase. Yeah, so you can get a good look at the whole thing. Cookie would not come down these stairs. She would go down the lower stairs, but for some reason these look too frightening, so she couldn't make it down these. Going up the stairs. I don't know what you would call this room. It's not a bedroom, it's kind of a bonus room. This year it was Katrina's office and the schoolhouse. So there you see the big partner desk. Very interesting exposed beam, lots of angles in the ceiling. Desk Carter worked at, kind of a supplies table, and then my mom and dad's old dining room table being used as the school table. Very tough for Katrina to spend that time. Took up a lot of her time to teach Carter and Annie, but they learned so much. They had a great school year. There's the big partner desk, looking out onto the balcony, and again out into the woods. In the winter time, when the foliage was gone, you could see Glory Lake from here, in the frozen lake. And at nighttime, all year round, you can see the lights of the city of Edmonton 25 miles away. So really a wonderful space. Very quiet. This is one of the things we'll miss the most, is this glorious space. Back downstairs. You can see those clerestory windows from another angle, and you can see the curvature in the ceiling. Very interesting. And this ceiling with its curve as well, as it runs up to the upper floor. If you back all the way up here, you can get a good look and a sense of the vertical openness in this house. This is standing from the bottom floor, looking all the way up to the top. It's just such an open space, and with so much exposed wood and so many windows letting in the light and bringing the woods right into the home, you feel like you're just living right in the woods. It's wonderfully designed in that way. Let's go outside and have a look. So it's the middle of the day, middle of the week. It's just absolutely quiet out here. Very nice. There's the swing set Carter and Annie spent a lot of happy hours on. Here's the fire pit. Fire pits are ubiquitous up here. Don't think we ever actually lit a fire in the fire pit. Big deck. Recently stained. Seems to have made a difference. We were able to sell the house pretty quickly once we put it on the market this summer. There's the trampoline and the dog run. We never did use the dog run. Cookie, of course, is an inside dog, and Blackberry, our big golden retriever, died a couple of weeks after we got here. You can see the lawn needs to be cut. I haven't cut it since the purchase went through a week and a half ago, and it being the summertime, things are going like crazy here. I'll do it one more time before we hand over possession of the house. You can get a good view of the whole house from back here. So look at the odd angles, the many windows. It's just interesting, right? Most interesting place I've ever lived in. Katrina put in a couple of garden beds of annuals and some perennials that managed to make it through the winter. And it's just a glorious little garden. Really nice. I'm going to take a walk around front so you can kind of get a feel for the setting of the house. You can see the woods are right near us on all sides. And so this place is really tucked into the woods, and I loved that about it. I loved it because there wasn't much lawn to maintain, and I also loved it just because of the feel of the setting. You can see the rocks that have been put all around on this side of the house. You know, the house feels like it's just quite literally tucked in among the rocks in the woods. And here in the front walk, there are rocks that are placed that are actually part of the walkway, and these wonderful chain downspouts from the gutters, or eaves troughs as they say up here. You see the chain there, and then also see the rock set right into the walkway there, and the interesting little drains coming down from the chains. In the wintertime, those chains are big icicles. Very interesting looking. And walking around the front. We gravelled the driveway last year. It was mud when we got here, and that was a bit of a mess. There's a big field just adjacent to the house. What that actually is that's the septic drain field, but it gives us a little bit of our own field. All the way around the side, we've got all the stuff. So it's interesting, you know, it's a big glorious house on the inside, and you look on the outside, and you can't get any sense of what's really inside from looking out here. You can see the woods right next to the driveway. A lot of the acreages out in the county here are houses perched in the middle of 2 acres of cultivated lawn, and that's not something we were interested in at all. But here we're tucked back into the woods. It was very nice. Felt like I was camping in the best tent in the world. Walking out to the front, we're actually in a cul-de-sac with 5 neighbors. The neighbors are wonderful, really good people. I'm sorry we didn't have a chance to stay and get to know them better. It opens up, even though we've got 5 neighbors all within a couple hundred yards. You wouldn't know it. The place is just absolutely quiet and very nice. There's the Bonnie's real estate sign with this old sign on it, I'm happy to say. They're building a house on the end of the cul-de-sac there. Can't quite see it. It's kind of tucked just over the edge of the hill. Our next door neighbor is selling their house as well. And this is the view looking back. And you can see our house number there, 77, Glory Lake Park. And that's it.